Let's look at some strategies for creating some automations. We're going to go to automation on the main menu. And for this example, I'm going to presume that we are creating a sequence of emails that would go out after somebody signs up for our freebie through our landing page. So we're going to be using the automation builder. Up here, we can click on the plus sign in the circle and select Automation Builder, which used to be called Advanced Automation. And once this opens up, we're going to give it a name. So we're going to call this the Ice Cream Automation for no good reason, just because that's what we're calling it today. We don't have to give it a category. We can just click Save. Now, if we are using this as we're going to have an opt-in page, or people are going to give us their name and email address, and then we're going to follow it up with a sequence of emails, then we would start this off with a landing page. The landing page, in this case, is that thing that's going to kick off or trigger or start this automation. Almost everything here listed under goal is something that can kick off or start off the automation. In this case, again, we're selecting landing page. And if we had our landing page already built, we could double click on this or click and view and edit. Select our landing page that we already created. Be sure to select the form on that landing page, which is going to be already named by the time we get here, and then click Save. And we can rename this whatever we want. This name here is only for our internal purposes, just so we know what landing page this is without us having to open it up and take a look at it. So now they're in this automation, but now what? We want them to get in here, and then we want to send them through a series or a sequence of emails and perhaps other tasks. So we're going to grab a sequence and move it to the other side of that landing page. And then these can't just be floating out in space, they need to be connected. So we're going to hover over our landing page until we see that little green arrow pop up. So again, if I'm not hovering, we don't see it. As I get closer, it pops up. I'm going to click and drag just that arrow over to the automation, and we see that it lit up green, and now we see that the arrow is there. So now we're going to open up this automated sequence. Again, we can either double click, or if you click once and select view and edit, it will open up. So now here's where the real magic happens. Here's where we tell it what direction, what directions we want to give it. So maybe the first thing we want to do is tag everybody who signed up for this freebie, so we know that these are the people that requested our free guide. And then because they've signed up for some free thing, we're also going to want to send them an email that delivers that free guide. Now, technically, that could be it. We could decide that is the extent of the conversation that we want to have with someone. But if we're trying to build a relationship with people, we want it to be a little bit more in-depth. We want the email communication to continue. So maybe we're going to pull over a delay timer and say, let's open this up. Let's say wait 3 days, and then on any day of the week at 8 a.m. in the contact's time zone, we want the next thing to occur, which in this case is going to be sending another email. And as you see, again, I'm just labeling these emails so I know what kind of content I might want to include in the emails. I would still need to go into each one of these emails, open it up, and do something more complex. And, write the actual email. So again, I could have another timer to say, okay, wait 3 days again. And then on any day maybe this time I'll do it at 10 a.m. in their time zone. We're going to send another email. And we can continue building our automation by just clicking and dragging elements over to our workspace. Now here we are at the end of the visual space right here. We have a couple of options of how to continue. I can see the little hand of my cursor. I can click and drag this over and continue building this way. But that means every time I want to see everything that's over here, I got to click and drag it over. Or if I put this back, I can add my next timer right here, which many people do, is put the timer there and then add an email and then add a timer and then add an email and so forth, so that you're making kind of this S. Or I'm holding my shift button as I click to select multiple ones because I want to delete all of those. So if you can either do the S, or you could come this way and do it as a Z. And again, it does not matter. What matters is the direction of the arrows. So no matter where you put things, you want to make sure that your arrows are going in the proper direction, because that is going to tell the system where to go next. Yeah, I just happen to like, this is the way I typically do it, is with the Z formation. But again, it does not matter what you do. It is just whatever order you pull these over in, that's how the arrows are going to be drawn. If you want to do anything different, then you need to, I'll show you in a second. So first of all, this drives me mad, but if that's how your brain works and you like it like that, that's fine too. Does not matter. My point here is that it's all about the direction of the arrows. That's the only thing that matters. But let's say you realize, oh, I didn't want this to be an email. I wanted this to be a text message. So if we take this one out and we drag over a text message, well, now we have to redraw this arrow. So you still, if you delete something, if you want to add something in, you again have to make sure you check where your arrows are. Let's say that instead of having this text, okay, hold on a second. I have to clean this up because it's driving me bonkers. Let's just tidy this up a bit. And again, you see, as I'm kind of tidying this up, the arrows are falling in line. There we go. Whew, now I can breathe. Alrighty, let's say that I added this text here, but I realized, oh, you know what? I want them to get a text and an email on this day, which means that it needs to go in between these two timers. Well, if I just drag over an email, the system thinks I'm just continuing the chain, so it's going to add this arrow. I don't want this arrow, so I'm going to delete that arrow. I'm also going to delete this arrow, because what I want to do is squeeze this email right in between here. Now, again, nothing is going to happen after this point right here because there's no arrow. So I need to redraw these arrows. 9 times out of 10, when I see mistakes in people's automations, it is because they did not go back in and double check the direction of their arrows. Especially things like this, which look confusing because it looks like there's 2 arrows, but it's actually 1 arrow going that way and 1 arrow going that way. If you ever are not sure what's happening here, just drag one of these down, and then that helps you see the direction of the arrows. And so this could be our whole automation. Again, what are some of the things that you'll see is that I pulled over emails. We could also have automated texts that go out. We could have a task. So maybe after they get a series of emails and text messages from us, we want to assign a task to ourselves to follow up with a phone call to make sure that this person still is interested, or maybe to get them to hop on a call with us, or whatever other action we might want them to take. Some of these other elements we'll get into in more detail when we get into some of the more advanced types of builders. One more thing to point out about this is that maybe after they sign up for our free thing, they get our free thing, they get this series of emails and text messages, maybe in all of these emails and text messages, we're inviting them to schedule an appointment with us. Well, what if after this email right here, they do go ahead and schedule an appointment with us? Well, then we probably don't want to keep sending them emails inviting them to schedule an appointment because they already scheduled the appointment. That can get very annoying. That's what feels like spam if we keep inviting someone to take an action that they've already taken. So instead, what we can do is tell the system, once the person achieves that goal we want them to achieve, in this case, scheduling an appointment, then stop sending them stuff. And we do that back out one level. So we're going to click this back arrow over here. So again, we had our landing page, and then everything we just built is inside this untitled automation. We don't like untitled, so we're going to call it deliver freebie and follow up emails. And ultimately, what we're hoping is that inside all of those emails, the person takes the action we want them to take, which is to schedule an appointment. And over here under goals, one of our options is appointments. So we're going to grab appointments, move that to the other side of our automation. And again, hover, green arrow, connect. So you can kind of read this as a story with a beginning, middle, and end. The beginning is that they sign up for the freebie. In the middle is that they go through these emails and text messages and we have tasks to follow up. But the ultimate end that we want is that we want them to schedule an appointment. And from in here, I don't think I have appointments set up, but let's see. No, I don't have appointments set up. If I had my appointment set up in this particular app, when I clicked on this, I could tell it which type of appointment we want them to book. So it's probably like your complimentary session, for example. And so once we have that, that's a complete automation. Beginning, middle, and end. Now, it could be for your particular automation, for your particular goal, you don't need them to take a specific action. You might have all different kinds of links. Maybe you want them to read an article, read a blog, schedule an appointment, visit your website, join your Facebook group, whatever it is. And so there's not a specific outcome that you want to have. So this is actually not a requirement. This could be your whole automation right here. If this is all finished, then you're good to go. One last thing to notice. You'll notice that this is green and this is gray. Green, I don't know why that deletes. Okay, this is green and this is gray. Green means that it is ready. It is good to go. Gray means it is not ready and it's still a draft. So again, if we open this back up, we can see some of these things are green, some of these things are gray. Green means you don't have to do anything else with it. Gray means you need to do something to mark it as ready. So the apply or remove tag is gray because we haven't told it what tag we want to apply. So I'm just going to pick some random tag that I have in here, but maybe our tag is going to be requested our freebie. As we build each one of these emails, when we're finished, we mark the email as ready. For each of these timers, we need to, even if we want to keep it at 3 days on a weekday at 8 a.m. in our time zone, we still need to open it up and close it in order for it to be marked as ready. And we're going to go through everything. We want everything to be green so we know that it's good to go. Once everything is green, then we're going to mark the whole sequence, the whole rectangle as ready. And that's what this little toggle is up here. So let's pretend all of these are green, and we'll go ahead and mark this as ready. And then go back out one level. So because we marked it as ready, this is now green. When everything is green, then we can go ahead and say, publish this. And it's going to either give us green, yellow, or red. So what is it telling us? We see a lot of green saying things are ready, but it's telling us, hey, you have 15 things that are not marked as ready. Because remember, I didn't mark these things as ready in here. So it's letting us know, just giving us a heads up, this might not operate the way that you think it's supposed to operate. Now, it's still going to let me publish. It's saying, hey, we told you, but if you want it like that, that's fine. So we can either go in and fix it, or we can say, that's all right. We still want to publish it, and we can hit publish, which I'm not going to do right now. But once you have that, then you are good to go. We'll look at some more complex things that we can do. I'm going to keep building on the same automation, but I wanted to at least get you started with understanding the basics of setting up an automated sequence.